My wife cheated with my brother, had his baby, and my mom kept it a secret for 20 years. The truth just destroyed my life. Hey Reddit, I 42M thought I had a picture-perfect family. I've been married to my wife Sarah 41F for 22 years, and we have a son, Jake 20M. Or so I thought. The last few weeks have unraveled my entire life, and now I don't even know who I am anymore. It all started when Jake needed some medical history for a university health form. Sarah was busy, so I dug through our records and noticed something strange. Jake's blood type didn't make sense. I'm O+ and Sarah is A+. Jake is AB. I'm not a doctor, but I remembered enough high school biology to know something wasn't adding up. I confronted Sarah about it, and her face went pale. She tried to brush it off, saying I was overthinking things, but I wasn't buying it. I ordered a paternity test behind her back, and when the results came in, my world came crashing down. Jake wasn't my son. When I confronted Sarah with the results, she broke down crying and admitted she had cheated on me with my brother, Tom 45M, around the time Jake was conceived. She said it was a mistake, a moment of weakness, and that she regretted it every day since. But that wasn't the worst part. Apparently, my mom 68F knew about the affair. She had caught Sarah sneaking around with Tom back then but decided to keep it quiet to protect the family. Mom even suspected Jake wasn't mine but convinced Sarah to stay silent and raise him as mine. They both decided it was better if I never found out. I was furious. My wife betrayed me. My brother betrayed me. And my own mother chose to lie to me for 2 decades. I kicked Sarah out of the house and haven't spoken to Tom or my mom since. Jake, who overheard part of the argument, keeps asking what's going on, but I haven't had the heart to tell him yet. He's innocent in all this, but every time I look at him, all I see is my brother's face. I don't know what to do. My marriage is over, my family is shattered, and I feel like I've been living a lie for 20 years. How do I even begin to pick up the pieces? Update. It's been a couple of weeks since I found out the truth, and things have only gotten messier. I decided to sit Jake down and tell him everything. It was one of the hardest conversations I've ever had, but he deserved to know the truth. When I told him that I wasn't his biological father, he was devastated. At first, he didn't believe me, but when I showed him the paternity test results, he broke down crying. He kept asking why I didn't tell him sooner and why his mom would do something like this. I had no answers. Jake is struggling to process everything. He's angry at Sarah and refuses to talk to her. He's also furious at my brother, Tom, who he's now realized is his biological father. I haven't reached out to Tom yet, but he's been calling and texting nonstop, begging to talk. I've ignored him so far because I don't think I'm ready to face him. As for Sarah, she's staying with her sister. She's been sending me long emails every day, apologizing and begging for another chance. She claims she made a mistake 20 years ago and that she's been faithful ever since. She insists she loves me and that our family is worth saving. But how do I trust her after this? My mom finally reached out too, and her excuse was that she was trying to protect me. She said she thought it was better for me to live in ignorance than to know the truth and lose my family. I told her she didn't protect me, she robbed me of my right to make my own decisions. I'm in therapy now, trying to work through the betrayal and figure out what to do next. Jake has started seeing a counselor too, and I've encouraged him to reach out to Sarah if and when he feels ready. I don't want him to lose his relationship with her because of what she did to me. As for me, I'm not sure if I can ever forgive Sarah or my mom. The pain is too fresh, and the betrayal runs too deep. Another update. It's been a few months now, and things have started to settle down, though life is far from normal. Jake has decided to cut off all contact with Tom. He says he doesn't want anything to do with him and that, to him, I'll always be his dad. Hearing that brought me to tears. Sarah, on the other hand, is still trying to reconcile. She's been attending therapy on her own and has asked me to go to couples counseling with her. I've agreed to a few sessions, not because I think we can save the marriage, but because I want closure. I want to understand why she made the choices she did and if there's any way to co-parent Jake moving forward without constant tension. My mom has been trying to mend things too, but I've kept my distance. I'm not sure I'll ever fully forgive her for keeping such a massive secret from me. She robbed me of the chance to live an honest life and make informed decisions about my marriage and my family. I've also reached out to a lawyer to explore my options. I'm not sure if I want to go through with a divorce just yet, but I'm preparing myself for that possibility. Financially, it'll be tough, but staying in this marriage feels impossible. Jake has been my rock through all this, even though he's going through his own struggles. He's asked if I'll always be there for him, and I've reassured him that nothing will change between us. He may not be my biological son, but he's still my boy, and I'll always love him as such. Final update. A year has passed since my world fell apart, and I can finally say I'm in a better place. The divorce is finalized, and Sarah and I have established a decent co-parenting relationship for Jake's sake. She's still trying to earn my forgiveness, but I've made it clear that while I can be civil, I'll never trust her again. Tom reached out a few times, but I've decided to cut him out of my life completely. As far as I'm concerned, he's no longer my brother. I've heard through the grapevine that he's struggling to connect with Jake, but that's not my concern. He made his choices, and now he has to live with them. My relationship with my mom is still strained. She wants to pretend everything is fine, but I can't let go of the resentment I feel toward her. I visit her occasionally, but it's not the same. I've made it clear that trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to repair. Jake has been doing remarkably well. He's thriving in college and has started calling me more often to check in. He says he doesn't care about biology, I'm his dad, and that's all that matters to him. Hearing that has been the one bright spot in all of this. As for me, I'm still in therapy and taking things one day at a time. I've started focusing on myself for the first time in years, picking up old hobbies, spending time with friends, and even going on a few dates. It's been a long, painful journey, but I'm finally starting to feel like myself again. This experience has taught me a lot about resilience and the importance of honesty. I've lost so much, but I've also gained a new perspective on what really matters in life. Jake and I are closer than ever, and that bond is something no betrayal can take away.